Caroline Freeman, EPA, great partner of ours. So, yeah.
So done with that. One person's is what I do in Congress, so I so appreciate it.
We appreciate your support. Thank you.
Chairman Fleischman, right from EPA headquarters. So nice to meet you, sir.
Thank you. So you came in from DC or?
I came in from DC through St. Louis.
Thank you. Well, you know, all right, I guess I'm here. I'm an old baseball player, so it's sort of like,
And he's really in the past years. I'll even show up now when he's going to be somewhere with him. We have on pair of blue jeans and cowboy boots, you know, and it's pretty cool.
Number 2 today. Oh, I'm lucky for us. Carolyn is going to clean up for us, so I like her chances.
thank you, Ken. I appreciate it.
Greg, I'm Warren Gooch. I'm the mayor of Oak Ridge.
It's so nice to meet you.
Thank you. Thank you for your support. Caroline, I'm Warren Gooch. Nice. I'm the mayor of Oak Ridge. Pleasure to meet you.
Definitely.
Glad you're here.
And great work going on in here.
Well,
And
your all's
thank you for
help.
your support.
Yeah,
Well,
thank you.
you know, we got to have your support too, so thank you.
I finally got me some prescription sunglasses. I have like play golf or something. I'll put in my contacts. That's about all I wear them for. You know, that's the only time I could wear sunglasses. So I finally, I get them in my car, and I tell you, they are well worth it.
The last few weeks ago, I get your dues paid. Yeah, that's okay. We'll just go with politics.
Good morning. Beautiful morning here. For those of you who may have been with us back in 2020 when we celebrated Vision 2020, which was completion of D&D here, you might recall it was absolutely miserable in August. It was about this time of year, and I remember people sweating through their suits. And I've been discussing that quite a bit with Ken under the new contract and the new fee model. And so, Ken, I appreciate you earning all the fee with this beautiful weather. I'm sure it has everything to do with UCOR. Once again, Candace, the best contractor in the complex, supported by the best congressman in the complex as well. So, yeah. So I wanted to welcome all of you here today as we celebrate Vision 2024, which is the completion of the soil cleanup out here. And I think, as you can see around you, as you look across the development that's starting to take place is pretty exciting for us. And so that was one of the reasons we wanted to celebrate this, because it marks a major achievement out here. Next will be final groundwater decisions. We've already had some of those thanks to the partnership we have with our regulators that are here, so certainly want to thank them as well. None of this progress could happen without the strong support that we get from Chairman Fleischman, who has had unflagging support for our program. We certainly appreciate that, and also for the support we've gotten from Senator Hagerty and Blackburn. If you have any doubts about that, just go take a look at the marks. They're some of the most incredible marks we've had in this area since I've been with the program. So certainly appreciate that kind of support. We could not get this done without that support. We're also grateful to have the state, city, and county officials with us. The level of coordination and cooperation that occurs in Oak Ridge is unique amongst the complex. I had the opportunity to talk about that a little bit last night to City Council. until you travel around the complex and visit some of the other EM sites, I don't think you really can appreciate the coordination that occurs here in Oak Ridge and the cooperation and the support from the community. Certainly have several folks to thank for that. Mayor Gooch, of course, Mayor Wade Cresswell, Mayor Terry Frank, and of course, City Manager Randy Heeman. We're also fortunate to have a very supportive leadership and headquarters. I couldn't have thought of a better person than my friend Candace Robertson. I keep wanting to call her Trummel because I knew her. You could probably see that happening in real time as I stood up here. My apologies to all the ladies that I've known before you got married. So, and there's a story there with my wife as well, but I won't tell that up on stage. Yeah, stop while I'm ahead. I will do that. That's good advice. See, you always get good advice from the mayor. But we're certainly lucky to have her here. She replaced Ike White a few months ago as the EM Senior Advisor. This marks her second time coming to Oak Ridge in about a 3-week period. And I think that goes to show you we do great things here in Oak Ridge and have her interest. So we certainly appreciate her taking time out of a very busy schedule to do that. We also appreciate our regulators from EPA and TDEC being here. We certainly could not get what we get accomplished here without their support and partnership. I have personally seen that evolve over the last 10 years to go from something that was relatively confrontational to a very cooperative relationship that is very businesslike. It doesn't mean DOE always gets what it wants, but now we look for ways to say yes so that everybody gets what they need out of the relationship. And so I did want to say thank you to Greg Gervais from EPA headquarters, David Sawyers, the TDEC commissioner, and Carolyn Freeman, who's representing Region 4 today. You and your teams have allowed us to keep the momentum going. Together, we're doing special stuff here in Oak Ridge, and the numbers certainly show that. We're the top cleanup facility or location in the nation as well for the federal government, so that's pretty impressive. We're also excited to have business leaders like Kairos Power with us today. That's the flavor and goal of all the work we're doing here at East Tennessee Technology Park. For me personally, it's pretty unique and pretty exciting to see the place that arguably nuclear energy and nuclear power started be the place that you're seeing the renaissance occur and to be part of that. Finally, I want to thank the men and women in the field, all the project managers, both federal and contractor, all the workers that go out every day. We've got the best labor workforce in the nation here as well. The productivity factors we have are incredible, and we could not get what we do here done without the folks that actually go out in the field, turn the wrenches every day, or at the face of the work. And so a big thank you to them. This is an achievement that they're very much a part of, and I hope they're very proud of what we're doing. We've certainly been busy here. You can see the results of that hard work around here. All the old buildings that used to be, if you come here 20 years ago, you would have seen tons of buildings. All that's been cleared away. Impacted soil is gone. And now you see sprawling green fields ready for redevelopment in front of you. And that is bringing new business and investment to Oak Ridge. And it's wonderful to be part of that. This is positioned to be a huge asset for the region for years ahead. 4 years ago, we celebrated finishing the demolition. I mentioned that earlier. Since then, we've been focused on removing the soil. We hit the start, and I had the good fortune, I guess, to be at the very start of the first UCOR contract. And I can remember how much soil we thought we were going to have to clean up. It's a lot more than what we had thought. So I don't know. Maybe that says something about federal estimators. But the incredible part was that we finished that 4 years ahead of schedule, $90 million under budget. And so, Ken, I expect to see that same kind of performance out of this contract as well, right? Not to put you on the hook. But with that complete, we're transferring the remaining land out here. I think another pretty incredible metric is when reindustrialization kind of first started. It was an idea that Gerald Boyd had that with community involvement came up with. I think there was probably some debate about whether that would actually take place and occur. And now today we're at the point where there's hardly any land left available for transfer. Almost every bit of it's either been transferred or has been requested for transfer. So with finishing the soil cleanup, that enables what's left to be transferred. And so that's a pretty good place to be when you're trying to turn the site back over to the community. It also makes me feel good that part of what the community did was back to help win a war. Their property was taken from them. It's very nice at the end of this to be able to clean it up and turn it back over to the community for their use. Completing this work is a significant achievement for us and takes us to our ultimate vision for the site. With all of this ready to be done and the 25 businesses that are out here and the hundreds of millions of dollars in new investment have been announced, really an incredible achievement for the area. Thank you again for your attendance and support today. It means a lot to me personally and to the men and women that go to work out here every day. With that, I'd like to introduce our next speaker, even though he doesn't really need an introduction, U.S. Representative Chuck Fleshman, who again has been an ardent supporter since I've been in the program of EM, and we certainly could not do what we do without him. He is co-chair of the Nuclear Cleanup Caucus. He was recently named the chairman of the Energy and Water Subcommittee of Appropriations, a very important job. Anything that has appropriations with it, we really like. So, and he certainly has helped raise awareness of Oak Ridge and this site. I can't talk enough about that. He picked up the baton when Senator Alexander left and has actually taken us to new and better places, and that has just been incredible. So with that, please give a warm welcome to Congressman Fleshman.
Jay, thank you very much. As you know, I'm a baseball player, and I usually like to bat leadoff, but after that, you just hit a home run, so I'm batting second. But thank you so much for everything you've done and the people here today. I'm going to tell you a quick story. I was new to Congress. It was 2011, and I was sitting with my dear friend, Senator Alexander, and it's during the Obama administration, and Ernie Moniz was the Secretary of Energy. And Senator Alexander, in his very brilliant but terse way, said, "How many times do administration officials return your phone calls?" And I summarily told him, "Never." I was telling the truth. He said, "I want you to be an appropriator." And he said, "I want you to be an appropriator because," he says, "I promise you, whether it's Republican or Democratic, they will return your phone calls that very day." The senator was right. Truer words had never been spoken. He sent me then to Scott County to talk to our late, great Senator and Ambassador Howard Baker, who was a constituent of mine. And he said, "I want you to go out and be a great appropriator." But he said, "Someday, if you work hard enough, play by the rules, and do the right thing, maybe you can chair the Energy and Water Subcommittee of Appropriations." Well, I'm from Chattanooga, Tennessee. I practiced law 24 years there. But when I was elected to Congress in 2010, I never realized that the crown jewel of my district was going to be right here in Oak Ridge. And I've talked with folks here that are here for the first time today from as far away as Hanford, Washington. My gosh, there is not a community that is more pro-nuclear, works better with the federal, state, and local partners, works with our great labor unions, our tremendous workforce, do a tremendous job, go out every day. Our friends at E-Tech, there's nothing like E-Tech, Tracy, in the country. You do just a tremendous job. We come together and work together better than any community in the country. I've been all over the world. I just finished a 7-country trip. What have I been doing? Selling American nuclear. I've looked these countries and their climate ministers in the eye and said, if you go with American technology, it's the best in the world, we will serve you well, and it will last a long time. Many of these countries are getting off of the Russian grid, moving toward the European grid. And the point is, I'm passionate about everything I do as chairman, and I have even before that. But a long time ago, when I was meeting with Ken Reuter, who's done a tremendous job, UCOR has received proper accolades, not only from myself, but really from the federal government, from the community. Picking the right contractors is so important. And in Oak Ridge, I will say this, whether it's UCOR, CNS, who does Y12 UPF, or UT Battelle, we have outstanding contractors in place. I could not do the great job that I'm able to do if I didn't have great people doing their job in the field. So I've been dealt a very good hand. In many ways, I feel like I'm the luckiest congressman in America because of what I've been given. But I've said this, nothing starts without legacy cleanup. So important. What we do here, we are cleaning up legacy sites and making absolutely certain that we are revitalizing that. We're releasing, we're rebuilding. Just watch within the next few months some of the announcements that are going to be made in regard to what started with nuclear cleanup. I am the nuclear cleanup chair in Washington, D.C. I chair 6 or 7, I've lost count, nuclear-related caucuses. What does that mean? That means Republicans and Democrats getting in a room, surprise, and working together for a common goal. So I think we need a little bit more of that in this country right now. That's why I'm the eternal optimist. I get up hard, work hard every day to make sure that we can get these things done. I'd be remiss if, and Jay, you covered everybody so well, and I thank you for those kind words. But we have a great governor in the state of Tennessee, and his name is Bill Lee. Lamar and I took Bill Lee through Oak Ridge when he was elected. And I said, Governor, there's 2 types of governors that we elect in the state. And I thought he was going to say Republican or Democrat. I said, no, those who love Oak Ridge and those who just tolerate it. He decided to love Oak Ridge. This governor has put more money and more effort into assisting me. I've talked to governors all over the United States. Bill Lee is the nuclear governor. I am the nuclear congressman. This is the nuclear community. But it all starts with legacy cleanup. So as long as I have a voice and a pen, and I'm chairman, I will continue to advocate for the great things that we do. But in closing, I'm going to say this. I am infinitely grateful for the people in this room, whether it's in academia, whether it's in industry, our contractors, our labor unions. We are the example of how to get it done in America. Thank you each and every day for allowing me to be your great advocate. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman Fleischman. That was very inspiring for us all. And your long-standing leadership on environmental issues, even before your calls were being returned by federal agencies, is something that's certainly remarkable and has really paved the way for all of the progress that we're here to celebrate today. And a huge thank you to everyone here who, you are the ones who have actually gotten us here. We know that everything we are able to accomplish is accomplished because of the people that are actually out there doing the work, remediating the soil, D&Ding the buildings, and everything else that goes into having created this tremendous opportunity. Jay and Ken, I completely agree. We have the best contractor and the best field manager right here today. And thank you. I couldn't be more impressed with the progress that you all have led. It's really an honor to be here with such esteemed guests as we mark this capstone achievement. At Oak Ridge, as well as at sites across the nation, the EM mission is focused on delivering cleanup priorities that reduce environmental risks. And as we execute this mission, we are increasingly focused on the future of those who live near our sites, in our communities, just like this one, as well as the broader challenges of our time. The historic transformation of ETTP is part of a visionary approach that each of you have shaped and been a part of. It's an approach focused not just on cleaning up the environmental legacy of the past, but creating opportunities for modernization, beneficial reuse, and economic growth. Oak Ridge has earned a reputation as EM's poster child for deliberate and forward thinking when it comes to these opportunities. It's a team, and I mean team broadly, with all of you here involved, that is focused on solving key challenges of today and anticipating the needs of the future in areas ranging from national security, scientific research, environmental protection, clean energy, and more. Through completion of Vision 2020 and now Vision 2024, the former uranium enrichment complex is gone. The contaminated soil has been removed. The land has been opened to attract a host of next-generation nuclear companies, and we're seeing that come to fruition now. As buildings have come down, opportunities have been built up, opportunities that you will hear more about from Mayor Gooch, Roane County Executive Cresswell, and Kairos Power in just a bit. Through this historic achievement, ETTP has really come full circle. What was once a liability is now an asset, boosting the economy by attracting new businesses and new jobs to the region. To me, it illustrates the true value and impact of the EM mission. It represents why we come to work each day and why we do what we do. And it demonstrates what's possible, not only here in Oak Ridge, but in communities near all of our remaining sites. Safely and successfully completing one of the largest ever cleanup projects is no small feat, and it would not have been possible without strong partnerships and a cadre of supporters. It has taken the whole team to get the job done. It's truly all of you who have made this possible. Congressional leaders like Chairman Fleischman, of course, the EPA, the state of Tennessee, and of course the Oak Ridge community have been there every step of the way. You have stood with us and stood together as we have embraced a cleanup approach that is inclusive of everyone's needs. It's an approach that recognizes the importance of having everyone rowing in the same direction. EM is so fortunate to have this community of champions who are engaged, informed, and leading the way in shaping a bright future here. The ETTP milestone marks completion of a 2024 EM priority and is the latest sign of more transformation to come across Oak Ridge. As we look to the future, I'll continue to count on all of you as we keep up a steady beat of progress, maintain momentum, and open even new opportunities for enduring missions here in Tennessee. At the end of the day, it's all about a shared cleanup mission and a shared sense of community and a shared vision for the future. With unique capabilities, educational opportunities, a highly skilled workforce, and an innovative spirit, Oak Ridge has always been ripe with possibilities. This is perhaps truer now than ever before, with another step in ETTP's evolution now complete. With that, I would like to extend my sincerest appreciation to all of you who made today possible, and welcome TDEC Commissioner David Salyers.
Thank you, Candace. What a great day. Ken, I'm glad you're getting 100% of your fee. It's really, it's a very pleasant day. So on behalf of Governor Lee and the state of Tennessee, I want to acknowledge some of the ingredients that go into a great success like this. And first, it takes good people. And so much what happens here that's good in Oak Ridge is because of the impact from Congressman Chuck Fleischman. It is absolutely unbelievable. And if he ever becomes as good a congressman as he is a baseball player, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what we're going to do with all the money. Yeah, he's so we definitely follow him in baseball, and he is a fine baseball player. So, but and I really appreciate the leadership at DOE, like Jay Mullis, my good friend Jay, and now I'm going to get to start working with Candace a little more often. Very excited about that, and value and appreciate that partnership. Ken, hey, I don't pay your bills, but I mean the great work of you and your team. They are incredible. The expertise and the project management skills that you have there are second to none. And then terrific to have EPA Representative David, my good friend Caroline Freeman, and John Nicholson, Chief of Staff in Region 4. And I just keep telling them every time somebody leaves, somebody else steps up that is stronger. And well, I'm not going to say stronger; that would be bad. But I mean, the bench strength, is great there, and they have been a great partner for us. Strong collaborative leadership here at the local level. Mayor Cresswell, Mayor Gooch, Mayor Terry Frank, and just it's unbelievable. It's awesome. And if I may just take a moment, where's all our TDEC staff, Tennessee Department of Environment and Conservation staff? Stand up real quick, please. These folks right here are passionate, wonderful technical leaders, and I could not be more honored to work alongside these folks. So thank y'all. And each of us comes to, issues like here at Oak Ridge with purpose. And at TDEC, our mission is protecting human health and safety, as well as protecting and improving critical natural resources for this generation and for future generations. So I think one of the things there is just effectively and timely comprehensive cleanup was a goal of everybody that was involved with this great work. And it's certainly an all-hands-on-deck effort, and really required that coordination. I mean, but we all have skin in the game, but we all focused on that purpose, and we kept our eye on the ball. I'm really proud of that. In matters as complex as Oak Ridge, that's what I told somebody once. I said, this is my favorite project. I mean, you got complex geology, fractured rock, nuclear stuffs, World War II, secret city, political, national security, billions of dollars. It's my favorite project. It's so complicated. It truly is. But one of the best things that I've been a part of as Commissioner of the Department of Environment Conservation is really working with DOE, UCOR, and EPA on focusing on finding solutions to these kind of problems. And that's taken a very, very innovative approach. It is being recognized nationally. You can't go to a cleanup conference anywhere that they're not talking about the state of Tennessee. How are y'all getting that done? And so I could not be more proud of how we all have worked together on that. But what we're selling today is what really matters: progress. We can talk and we can go through process and everything else, but progress. And we're doing incredible work in a very safe fashion, and that's going to benefit this and surrounding communities. And DOE has the ability to turn over land for economic development and beneficial reuse that is important to this community and the entire state. I was talking to Congressman Fleischman earlier, and in fact, this is sort of a model for Governor Lee's part of his conservation strategy. We're going to take big Superfund sites, clean them up, put them back to productive use. We're going to take middle-sized state Superfund sites, clean them up, put them back to productive use. We're going to take the dilapidated building of the gas station on the corner and clean it up and turn it into a microbrewery. Well, he didn't say that. That was me. But it seems like every time they clean one up, that's what happens. So, I don't go to them. But so I've been told. And also I have the great honor of chairing Governor Lee's Tennessee Nuclear Energy Council. That is so critical. I see Dr. Wes Hines here. I don't know where you're at right now, Tracy Boatner. See Mayor Frank here. Would the members of that council please stand up? I mean, we have Ken. Oh yeah, you're behind me. But I mean, the work that we're doing with that council is getting national recognition. I mean, Texas is saying, "What are y'all doing over there? What's going on?" And the effort and the expertise that's been brought to the table. I called it. I affectionately call it. When somebody calls me a nerd, I say thank you. I am chairing the Council of Nerds. I mean, we have Mayor. Don't we have some super smart people on there, and they're doing great work. So I'm thinking about that. I'm really thinking about how our regulatory partnerships, and that's a big part of that council. And we'll be making final recommendations to the governor in October this year, just in time for the state budget submittal. So might probably be a little ask in there, I think. So, but last, the thing, one of the foundations that makes all this possible is the partnerships, and I just salute all the partners that are at the table. And it's not just the four that I talked about in the regulatory framework; it's everybody here working together, and it is the partnership and the progress that makes clean up to clean energy possible. And that is a reality that we are celebrating today. So TDEC and the state of Tennessee are so proud to work alongside of you. I want to thank you for the great work that we're doing here at Oak Ridge.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Greg Gervais, and I'm the director of U.S. EPA's Federal Facilities Restoration and Reuse Office in Washington, D.C. We're the national program office for Superfund federal facilities sites, which encompass about 2,400 federal cleanups around the country, including 175 that are among the worst of the worst on the Superfund list. And I'm pleased to be here in Oak Ridge at the East Tennessee Technology Park, and pleased to say this Superfund site, while among the worst of the worst from contamination standpoint historically, is now among the best of the best. And I'm really, really pleased to say that. I'd like to start by thanking the Department of Energy for hosting the ceremony today. And I'm really, really thrilled that this is the Vision 2024 event today. Thank you to all of the speakers so far today. Really appreciate those words. I really appreciate Ken for going off script like me and wearing gray instead of blue. I was a little nervous when I saw the blue suits. I was afraid I missed something in my email box, but it's okay. So one of the nice things about my role at EPA is I get to be part of these sorts of recognition ceremonies for reuse. And if you caught the name of our long bureaucratic agency office name, I want to underscore the fourth word, which is reuse. It's a key part of federal cleanups around the country, and this is really exemplary of the possibilities and the realities for federal cleanups and that reuse piece. The words that we've already heard today, they really paint a picture of not just the work on the ground, but that broader piece of effort that's needed to partner, to collaborate, to find those mutual wins. As Jay said, not everybody always gets everything they want, but this project team endeavors to make sure the parties get what they need, and that's really important because at the end of the day, that's how we get to efficient, effective, complete cleanups that make these sorts of properties, these resources available to the host community, and that's you all. As a quick aside, the host community term, when I came into this position about 6 years ago, started to spend more time with my colleagues at the Department of Energy, and I kept hearing them use that turn of phrase, which was pretty different than what EPA had been using for the same sort of thing, as well as other federal agencies, Department of Defense, so on and so forth. And I've actually, I'm not above stealing other people's homework, give you full attribution, of course, but I've started to use that phrase host community, particularly when I'm talking to the Department of Defense, my colleagues in the five-sided building, and their versions of these sites, the military bases, active and former, because the communities that are affected by all facets of that installation, all the good that comes from it being part of that shared national security mission, as well as the obvious impacts that can happen when a community has a facility that has releases of contaminants to the environment. And it's our responsibility as a federal government to ensure that those host communities are not overburdened and that our messes are cleaned up and we can point to the future. And so I'm really thrilled with Vision 2024 and this being another waypoint along the road. And I can't wait to hear what the next vision, fill in the blank year is. I hope I'm still around and in this role so I can celebrate that with you as well. I want to take a moment to talk a little bit about our National Federal Facility Excellence and Site Reuse Award. So earlier this year, we've been doing this since 2018, we recognized the winners of our 7th annual Reuse Award by way of a press release. So my office established this award to recognize and celebrate individual and collective accomplishments in the restoration and reuse efforts that have gone above and beyond at federal facility cleanup sites. This award is given to those who've demonstrated excellence in the following areas: working cooperatively and forming partnerships, complementing redevelopment design with the selected remedy, innovating beneficial use outcomes, considering the impacts and taking the input from the local community, especially communities disproportionately impacted by environmental contamination, and creating jobs, fostering economic development and recreational opportunities, as well as supporting enduring missions. So together with federal, state, tribal, and local partners, environmental cleanup around the country reduces the risk to human health and the environment, while also returning land to productive uses and providing economic and environmental benefits. Thousands of sites across the country have been transformed for all sorts of purposes: new businesses, homes, recreational fields, walking and bike paths, wildlife habitat, and alternative energy generation. Federal Facilities Superfund reuse successes are the results of strong partnership teams and a collaborative vision shared by the host community, federal agencies, and local partners. Cleaning up these lands, and I think we're already seeing this here, it can be a catalyst for economic growth and community revitalization. Last year, an economic analysis of 91 Federal Facilities Superfund sites around the country identified more than 2,700 businesses that generated nearly $29 billion in annual sales, provided more than 600,000 jobs, and $60 billion in estimated annual employment income. Those are massive numbers. And this is part of that story, and I'm really thrilled to say that. As a nation, we value land as a natural, cultural, and economic resource. Cleaning up these kinds of lands protects the human health and the environment and enables our communities to pursue further beneficial use, and that's really what it's all about here. So I love to go and do these ceremonies. As I've said, it's really that opportunity to recognize that great work. Sometimes it's unsung work. It's very difficult, takes very long time steps. I want to say Oak Ridge Reservation was added to the Superfund National Priorities List 1989. So the very beginning of the DOE's environmental management mission, this was one of those initial sites. And you can see the fantastic work. The ETTP clearly demonstrates that creating partnerships to address contaminated property and the needs of the host communities leads to successful outcomes for human health, the environment, as well as the local economy. So the last thing I'll mention, because I'm also a confirmed nerd, and I'm so glad that being a nerd is actually cool now, and many of you are too, so I celebrate that. It's not lost on me. Off to my right, and the noise stopped. So whatever Jay did to make that happen, good on you. But that's part of the National Historical Park. It's going to be a viewing platform, right? It's a viewing platform for the former gaseous diffusion facility out here at ETTP. It's not lost on me that this Herculean effort as part of winning World War II was here, and it was constructed by the Army Corps of Engineers. And this beautiful facility, when it's ready, that'll allow us to see the past and the future all together, is ironically, and I think appropriately, being built by the Army Corps of Engineers. So well done making this come full circle, Jay. I really appreciate that. And so with that, I would like to introduce my dear colleague, Caroline Freeman from EPA Region 4 for a few remarks.
Thank you, Greg, and good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
It's a wonderful day in Oak Ridge, first of all, let me say that. As Greg said, I am Caroline Freeman, and I am the Superfund and Emergency Management Division Director out of EPA Region 4 in the Atlanta office. You know, I cannot move forward without recognizing Team EPA Region 4. So Team EPA Region 4, please stand. You know, today I just want to talk to you a little bit about the National Federal Facilities Excellence in Site Reuse Award and the significance of this award and also the great work that have occurred here at Oak Ridge in order to put them above the normal, to have them recognized today on a national platform. So Oak Ridge, I know many of you are out there, and even on this distinguished platform, I just want to say before I get started, job well done. Okay. The EPA created the National Federal Facilities Excellence in Site Reuse Award to recognize the exemplary work of restoring the environment at federal facilities that are no longer a part of federal mission, like DOE's former uranium enrichment plant, and making that land available for beneficial reuse. This award recognizes those who have supported restoration and reuse of federal facilities through outstanding efforts in creative thinking, problem solving, creating a vision for the future, and diligent work in cooperation amongst our state partners, federal partners, also redevelopment organizations, tribal agencies, and of course, all of our team coming together and staying focused on the mission. Today, we are recognizing the accomplishments of the East Tennessee Technology Park, which is a part of this Oak Ridge Reservation. And as many of you know, the former operation included the K-25 gaseous diffusion plant. This was the largest building in the world that was built back in 1943. K-25 and other facilities were built to support the war effort and continue to support the national defense until its closure in 1987. Understandably, there were concerns about job loss, but at the same time, I am so excited to say that after the closure and the partnership that came forward as a result of the great work that you see that have occurred here, you know, there was a focus on a new goal of restoring the site for new commercial purposes and other beneficial reuse like conservation and also historic preservation. The site was the first gaseous diffusion operation in the world to be deactivated and demolished, including removing 5 gaseous diffusion buildings by 2016, and the remaining building and facilities as late as 2020. So since 2007, extensive soil cleanup have been accomplished, and we continue to move forward with the protection of human health and the environment and support new industrial uses, conservation, and historic preservation, all here on this Oak Ridge Reservation. The same community for decades, you know, that dedicated its land for reuse to national defense, will now enjoy conservation, recreation, and new economic development. Yes, jobs are coming to Oak Ridge. The Department of Energy, along with UCOR, have deactivated and demolished over 500 World War II era buildings and facilities and excavated over 700,000 cubic yards of contaminated soil. I don't know what you all are thinking, but guys, that is huge. That's a mountain. So please, let's give these guys a round of applause for this amazing work. Okay. To date, the Department of Energy has transferred over 1,700 acres for redevelopment. That is huge. Let's give them another round of applause. 100 acres of land have been dedicated to historic preservation, and 3,500 acres are designated for conservation. That is huge. And so I just want to commend these guys for the great work that they're doing. This morning I made a statement. We had a brief meeting, and none of this can get done, guys, if we don't work together as a team. And my motto for team has and will always be, together, everyone accomplishes more. And that's what has happened here at Oak Ridge and what continues to happen here at Oak Ridge. Most of all, I'm just pleased to say that in light of all of the conservation efforts and restoration efforts, and also the industrial commercial redevelopments that are occurring here, you know, the distribution lines should not go unnoticed. 93,000 linear feet of water main piping and over 22,000 linear feet of natural gas pipe has also been returned. That is huge. And so these are phenomenal accomplishments that should not go unnoticed. And I am so glad that we could take the time to just stand up here and recognize the Department of Energy, also the Community Reuse Organization of East Tennessee, the City of Oak Ridge, Anderson and Roane counties, also the State of Tennessee, UCOR, and community and business partner. Because, as I said earlier, together everyone accomplishes more. So this award is well-deserved. And it is my pleasure to celebrate everyone that played a part in the restoration and reuse of Oak Ridge Reservation. With that, I would like to ask my colleague, Greg Gervais, to please come back and join me. We have some awards that we would like to present today. So, Greg. Okay.
Just scoping out the stage and making sure nobody takes a fall off the stage here. It's a
I
little
know.
cramped quarters. I think what we'll do is Caroline is going to read the names of the organizations that we're presenting recognition plaques for today, and I'll hand those off. But before we do that, I'll take it first. And I'd love to go ahead and read the inscription to you all before we begin. So this reuse award is for revitalizing a former federal uranium enrichment complex operated by the U.S. Department of Energy into the East Tennessee Technology Park, a multi-use industrial park, national park, and natural conservation area that is bringing new opportunities to the Oak Ridge community.
Our award recipients for today, I'm going to ask that you please come forward and stand with Greg and myself for a wonderful photo op, and also to receive your dynamic national award. Guys, I was working at EPA probably for about 20 years before I received my very first notable National Achievement Award. So this is huge, okay? Will the United States Department of Energy, Oak Ridge, Office of Environmental Management, please come forward.
Thank you.
All right. Our next award recipient, United States EPA, Region 4. Now we will have the Tennessee Department of Environment and Conservation. Team Tennessee, please come forward.
Move quicker than that. Come on. Don't clean up clean up delayed is clean up denied.
There you go.
All right.
There you go.
It's not illegal.
Now we will have United Cleanup, Oak Ridge, UCOR. Okay.
Where's Ashley? Why is Ashley not? Ashley.
What's Ashley?
Come on
One
up
more.
here. Jimmy, come on up here. Yeah.
I'll tell you, yeah, we'll spread it out. Congratulations. All righty. Our next award recipient, Community Reuse Organization of East Tennessee. Thank you. And our next recipient, the City of Oak Ridge.
I'd like our city manager, Randy Heeman. Randy? Randy.
He's coming. Get on this side. Look like musical dance. We're up this late, but it's okay.
I didn't start.
Let's come this way.
Come on. Okay, let's get over here.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for the work that you're doing. Okay. You know, again, I just want to take this time to congratulate the team for the Oak Ridge Reservation. This is a great day. Guys, a lot of work have gone into cleaning up this site and preparing it for reuse. And because of the commitment of this team, we just had to come down here and do this in person. And so congratulations to each one of you on the award today. And not only that, we got a lot more work ahead of us, so let's remain connected, focused, and I'm not going to take up any more time because there's some great remarks still to come from this distinguished platform today. So thank you so very much, and we are just honored to be able to come down to Oak Ridge and recognize the entire team for the great work that you have done and that you're continuing to do.
Thank you, Caroline, and good morning, everyone. And thank you for joining us in Oak Ridge this morning to celebrate the latest milestone in the cleanup of the East Tennessee Technology Park. On behalf of our 34,000 residents, I want to express our sincere gratitude to Congressman Chuck Flashman for his steadfast support that has made funding available to accomplish this milestone. I also want to thank Commissioner Sawyers and his team at TDEC and the leadership at EPA, and most notably the leadership at EPA Region 4 for their contribution in making today a reality. I want to say a special word of welcome and thanks to Candace Robertson, a former elected official in Nevada. She understands the extraordinary responsibility associated with making decisions that protect public health, safety, promote economic growth, and improve the quality of the lives of their citizens. Congratulations, of course, to Jay Mullins and his team at the Oak Ridge Office of Environment and Management, and Ken Reuter and the UCOR team. They've been great stewards of taxpayer dollars and great partners to the city of Oak Ridge. They exemplify the definition of promises made, promises kept. Thank you, gentlemen, and thank all the members of your teams. I also want to thank organized labor, and particularly the members of the North American Building Trades Unions, its departments, and respective partnerships. They have worked hand in hand with UCOR in the completion of this complex work, and it simply would not have been completed on time and on budget without their dedicated work. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I want to I also want to recognize and thank my colleagues on City Council and our City Manager, Randy Heeman, who you just saw, and all our city employees that continue to play a vital role in the transformation of ETTP. The City of Oak Ridge began its reindustrialization partnership with DOE almost 2 decades ago with the transfer of the federal fire station here at ETTP to the city. The provision of the fire and ambulance services on this side of the largest cleanup and redevelopment projects in the nation was instrumental in attracting new investment and economic growth at this site and in the build-out of major housing development just down the road to the west, the Preserve. This early partnership has expanded with the co-location of the K-25 History Center and the creation of the Manhattan Project National Historical Park. The city will continue to work with our partners to grow the national park and to make this site a key heritage tourism and history destination. The K-25 viewing platform will be a critical element in those efforts. ETTP is the epicenter of what should be considered the Oak Ridge Innovation District, with a focus on new nuclear industries and diversified industrial development to include other technology coming from ORNL, such as artificial intelligence, carbon technology, radioisotopes, and materials development. The city is embarking on a comprehensive planning process that will create a vision to attract new families, encourage private industry investment, and ensure a new nuclear future that supports our country meeting its energy needs in a carbon-free manner and also enhances our national security. To accomplish our goals, we must continue to work together in partnership as a team. Federal investments in new nuclear technology and a focus by the state of Tennessee and Governor Lee have brought new businesses to Oak Ridge. For the first time in many years, we're having conversations about how we can make additional land here on the west end of the city available to meet the demands of new industry. In order to be successful, we must have a vision, we must perform, and we must hold all parties involved accountable. As mayor, I had the privilege of serving a city that has helped change the world and will be essential in developing new nuclear technologies in the future. Great things happen in Oak Ridge every day, and today is no exception as we mark yet another historic milestone in the cleanup of the East Tennessee Technology Park. As we move toward closure in 2026, our goals should be turnover to transformation of the area. As I've stated before, the cleanup of legacy waste is a solemn obligation of the United States government. Environmental stewardship and reindustrialization is a testament to the hard work and sacrifices of thousands, tens of thousands of men and women who worked at K-25 over the decades. It is also a powerful reminder to our country that Oak Ridge is never asked to do things which is easy, but to perform things that are hard and required to protect freedom and to enhance the lives of our fellow Americans. We should all be very proud of those collective efforts and the local partnerships that made them possible. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Wade Cresswell, Rome County Executive, and I want to thank you for the opportunity to share my perspective, Jay, and with the invitation to speak. I also want to congratulate our partners at DOE's Oak Ridge Office of Environmental Management and its contractor, UCOR, for the collective success of realizing Vision 2024. I've had the privilege of gathering here on 2 prior occasions to celebrate the achievements of visionary leaders in environmental cleanup at ETTP. But the realization of Vision 2024 feels different. And it feels different because the vision for the future of our community is now becoming much clearer. And our future in Oak Ridge and Roane and Anderson counties has never been brighter. The number one reason why we can see a much brighter future is because of the decades of dedication, hard work, and partnerships that have returned the condition of this land back into something that is being highly sought after. And let me make this as clear as I possibly can. There is no future on this reservation, including for our current missions, without a successful cleanup effort. This is the only place in the world that has completed the cycle of uranium enrichment to cleanup, to reindustrialization, and now stands ready to start the process again. More than any other facet that we celebrate today, please take away with you that we are really celebrating, what we are really celebrating today is that our community, working with our federal leaders, highly capable contractors, local government partners, workforce development resources, and local labor organizations has achieved something that has never been done before anywhere on planet Earth. It has never happened before because there is nowhere else that it probably could have happened. The relationships and partnerships that we enjoy at all levels are not normal. We oftentimes take them for granted, but it really is different here. If it weren't different, I don't think we would be celebrating today. And because we celebrate these successes today, our communities stand on the cusp of a once-in-a-generation opportunity. We truly are in the epicenter of a nuclear renaissance. Interest in our area has already increased exponentially. Our regional conversations with other government officials try to prepare them for economic development opportunities in the nuclear supply chain that have never been a variable in our equation before. And I can report that East Tennessee is excited about our future in the nuclear industry together. But we can never forget that there is no future without a successful cleanup effort first. And there isn't a successful cleanup effort without great working partnerships. And there aren't great working partnerships without so many talented and caring leaders across all disciplines that have committed to achieving Vision 2024. So I want to thank you to all here who have made this dream become a reality. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm really excited to be here today. My name is Ed Blanford, and I am the co-founder and chief technology officer of Kairos Power. I'm here today to honor the incredible work that has taken place at the East Tennessee Technology Park over the last 2 decades. Thanks to the vision and leadership of DOE's Office of Environmental Management, UCOR, and your supporting team. The reclamation of this historic land and your diligent efforts to bring it back into service for a new generation of innovators like Kairos has played a vital role in our company's trajectory. Your mission to protect the environment aligns closely with Kairos Power's. When looking for a location to build the Hermes demonstration reactor, we selected a brownfield site as part of our commitment to being good environmental stewards. The land was already well suited to industrial use and offered a unique combination of attributes that was perfect for Kairos. A highly skilled local workforce, proximity to important collaborators, including Oak Ridge National Laboratory and the Tennessee Valley Authority, the infrastructure and characterization data really available for the site, and potential opportunities for future expansion, all of which made it really a perfect fit for Kairos. Thanks to the work led by all of you here today, Kairos Power was able to purchase land at ETTP in 2021. Fast forward to today, 3 years to July 2024, well, last month, when we were thrilled to break ground and begin excavation for the Hermes reactor at the former K33 site. Rising from the footprint of the historic Oak Ridge gaseous diffusion plant, Hermes will be a critical step towards commercializing Kairos Power's technology and advancing our mission to enable the world's transition to clean energy. We do have some footage, I believe, behind me that's showing the construction. As you can see, we started construction about a month ago. These are just some sites showing the active construction right now. You can see in the lower left corner, there's a number of concrete footers. Those were footers that actually were below the K33 plant. Those are now out of the ground. There's also additional electrical duct banks. We're removing those in partnership with EM and with UCOR, working closely with them. And we'll be starting more of the substantive excavation here very shortly. Our plan is to start foundation work actually in October, so this is actually moving in a very aggressive way. It's been inspiring for the Kairos Power team to unearth a piece of history as we work to build the future. We see the potential of this special place to continue building on Oak Ridge's long nuclear legacy, and we're proud to be using this as our home base to lead new innovation and bring economic benefits to the community. Thanks again to everyone here for being exceptional partners, and congratulations on achieving Vision 2024.
Okay, I know what you're all thinking. He doesn't have any notes, so oh my gosh, what is he going to say? And I was thinking, what should be my opening? And I kind of listened to all the remarks before I get up, and then I concluded that I should introduce myself as Ken Reuter, not Chief Executive of UCOR, but Ken Reuter, part of the first EM contractor team that's ever scored 100% fee. So I think that is the best introduction. Of course, all the videoing is great too, because it's an element of objective evidence, and so that's sort of the inner attorney in me, even though that I don't have a law license. But I'm sure the congressman and the mayor would appreciate that. I want to. My thoughts are to share with you a profound thank you, and kind of try to weave together all the remarks that have been made by everybody. So let me first start with, if everybody who made a difference in having us sit here today was present and could be present, there'd be over 5,000 people sitting in here. We'd fill an auditorium. And why do I mention that? Because scale makes a difference. This is, as been pointed out by a number of the speakers, is the siting of the 409 National Park of our country. I know a number of you think that's pretty unique and pretty cool. I do. My grandkids love it. They really don't care much about the environmental cleanup piece. They like the fact that their grandfather is part of building the 409th National Park of the country. You see thousands of acres of natural asset and conservation that has now been put back in the hands of Tennesseans, and better yet, put back in the hands of the citizens of this country, because I'm have unique interests in that area. And so when I go to trailheads that we have turned back to the community, I see license plates from all over the country here, coming here to East Tennessee because of what we've been able to do, whether it's here at our national park or whether it's there in the conservation area, and then has now been pointed out, the largest federal land reuse program in the entire United States. All of that has come together, in my opinion, to something that I try to stay grounded on all the time, which is fate and fortune favors the prepared. And so let me take you back 10 years. 10 years ago, in 2014, we came together as a community, set of stakeholders, and said, there's a mountain here we want to climb. And no summit is worth pursuing if it doesn't have a challenge to it. And we said, what is the waypoints that we need to set to ultimately get there by 2024, so that we're aligned with where we believe this country is going and the needs of this nation, very similar to the message you heard from the mayor, very similar to the messages you've heard from other people in this audience, that's our call to service. And we served it in Oak Ridge in the 40s, and we're now here in the 2024 timeframe to serve it again. And so we had enough vision and forthrightness to come together and say, well, we're going to have a Vision 2016, which I see a number of you who celebrated it right over here, in which we completed the cleanup and the demolition of the largest buildings ever built in the world, successfully. ahead of schedule. And then we said, what's our next waypoint? Our next waypoint we celebrated right down here, which was Vision 2020, which was the completion of all facilities and buildings here so that we could then take the next step in land transfer and be ready and to be positioned for what you heard from Kairos, or what you just heard with regard to the award that was that we're so honored to receive. And then we said, what's the next waypoint? And that's here, standing here today. And all that was mapped out with a commitment by all of you and the other thousands of people who couldn't be here today to reach this point in time, because we knew that we needed to be prepared for this next step in the history of the nuclear renaissance or the nuclear industry. Yes, many had different beliefs, but we believed that we needed to be ready in this time. And there was no downside if the nuclear industry didn't come, another industry would have. Because the most cost-effective land is brownfield land if you're in economic development. And so this very large partnership has now culminated at this point in time. And you know, I don't do it anymore, but I had a mountaineering background for a long time. I had really grand visions of doing that, and did quite a bit of it. And I was always proud of the fact that I have all these, okay? Because you meet a lot of mountaineers that don't. And I won't take my shoes off, but trust me, I have all my toes. And so my thought around that was that we've got to get to this point in time and be ready to be positioned for those outcomes. And so thousands of us readied a team to summit the mountain. And that's where we stand here today. Our flag's there. They've come back, right? The summit is optional. The return is mandatory. So they sit here today with us. And I'm going to ask those 4 individuals who summited this mountain for us, with all our support, to stand up and be recognized. Because the final steps to the mountain are the most difficult ones to the summit. So Ashley Saunders, Jimmy Hughes, Joanna Harden, and Aaron Sutton, please stand up. Please stand up. This is the team that carried our flag and positioned us to be sitting here today, 409th National Park, the nation's first Generation 4 small modular reactor, Clinch River site, TRISOL X fuel, ultra safe, much more to come, sworn to secrecy, much more to come. And so with all that, we now stand here with the largest federal land reuse program. The future begins with cleanup. And what I'll finish with is a profound thanks to 2 critical partners on the stage. Because let me put some context to it. And we always remind ourselves as a company every day, if somebody won't finance your work and somebody won't authorize your work, meaning giving you the opportunity to do your work, you don't get to do it, no matter how good you are. If no fans show up in the stadium, you don't get to play the game, right? If people won't pay for your pay to watch you play, you don't get to play the game. So, Mr. Chairman, we've been together for 13 years, 2011. We both showed up at the same time. A profound thank you for everything that you've done for this community and having the trust in us to be investment worthy with your duties with regard to the taxpayer money. Thank you very, very much. Another unique partnership that came together in May of 2011 was myself and Jay. Jay has been a forthright partner from the very beginning being here. We were both the contract ombudsman that then made this happen. We then progressively moved up within our organizations together, never having any distance between us as a partnership. And I've worked internationally, and I've worked all around the country at every cleanup site. I've got to interact with dozens of different site managers, senior federal officials, international officials. I've never experienced one that had such unique skills to enable outcomes within a pretty significant bureaucratic system. The great thing of the partnership with Jay, and I'm not saying this to embarrass him or make it awkward for him, is maybe a little bit, is that Jay always starts with yes, how, no, never, no, why. So when I enter into his office with some ridiculous stream of consciousness, harebrained scheme, it always starts with yes, how. So Jay, a profound, serious thank you to that. So I know we're over, so I'm gonna end with further consideration for you. The next step that we went on as a journey after Vision 2020 was to get here, Vision 2024, but the realization that in parallel with that, we needed to go east. And we have gone east. We are fully mobilized and operational to the east side of the reservation at Y-12 and Oak Ridge National Lab. We are fully integrated with both modernization missions that are going to ultimately continue to produce the nuclear deterrence that makes our country so safe, our world so safe, and the national science mission that makes our world such a better place. Medical isotopes would be a great example of that, and it was mentioned by a number of folks on the stage. We have full alignment now so that the future begins with cleanup there. And so my promise to you is that we will continue together to enable Oak Ridge to be the envy of every other location that's like this anywhere in the world, where you go to La Hague, France, Sellafield in the UK, whether you go to Hanford, South Carolina, Idaho. I love competition. I think it makes us all better. I had some meetings with some Texas folks yesterday. I invited them to come. I said, we'll be glad to continue to see you in the rearview mirror when we cross the finish line. And again, at the end, if they accomplish as much as we did, then the greatest form of compliment is plagiarism, right? So unless you're in a university system, then you lose your job. So thank you. Well done. I know it's hard to conceive of what's been accomplished here. Take a few minutes when we're done and look around and go back to your organizations and attempt to convey to them the significance of what's been accomplished here. The nuclear renaissance of this country, and one could argue possibly the world, has made a choice to site here. This is the world's next nuclear innovation district, just as it was in the 40s, because we're always ready for the call to service to do that here, and we're the only location anywhere to complete the nuclear life cycle. People have pursued it for 75 years. You have done it. And I have enjoyed every bit of working with every one of you as partners. So thank you. Try to communicate that message to your folks. There'll be a lot of video and all that. Share with them the significance of the history they've made, just like our forefathers did in 1940 when they did the things necessary to win the Great War. Thank you very much.
When I wake up in the morning, love, and the sunlight hurts my eyes, and something without is heavy on my mind. Then I look at you, and the world's alright with me. Just one look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day. When the day that lies ahead of me seems impossible to face, when someone else instead of me always seems to know the way, then I look at you, and the world's alright with me. Just one look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day. When the day that lies ahead of me seemed impossible to face, and when someone else instead of me always seems to know the way, then I look at you, and the world's alright with me. I just one look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely